Well, I wrote the book Blue Collar and Proud of It. Number one, because I am proud of it. We do a lot of work in this country every day. I like to say blue collar people are America's backbone. And I have 5 children, and when I would take them when I would go with them to PTA meetings at the school, I would hear that they positively had to go to college, Mr. Lamacchia. They simply won't make it. And sure, if they want to go off and play with wrenches someday as an alternative. And I didn't like that because this is an alternative. We like what we do. If I'm wheelbarrowing asphalt in 99 degrees and sweating, we enjoy that. We like building things. This is what we do. We create. And I put the book together, Blue Collar and Proud of It, to let kids and young adults know it's okay. If you don't want to go to college, there's not something wrong with you. You're not a monster. And I'm not against furthering your education. I mean, with today's computers and high tech, even the transmission guy needs to get some secondary training. But not everyone can do desk to blackboard. A lot of us can't. And I like to tell people that we need to hit it, bang it, smash it, smell it, see it. That's how we learn. And I just wanted to put together a little, it was almost a mission statement, a cause, my book. I wanted to get the word out there that it's okay. Well, as recently as last August, U.S. News and World Report, and a week later, Manpower, both come out that even in this economic slowdown, they can't find enough auto mechanics and electricians. Everything's pointing to the blue-collar worker. Baby boomers are retiring. The greening of America, I mean, 39 billion is in the stimulus plan, Obama's stimulus plan, for the greening of America. 61 billion for roads, bridges, and rails. I've never heard of numbers like this in my life. So we got baby boomers retiring, the greening of America, the transportation system's falling apart. That terrible tragedy in Minnesota, that woke everybody up. Secretary of State Ray LaHood said America's become one big pothole. And the fourth thing is, for the last 25 years, all these kids have been sold the story that they need to go to college. And not everyone can do it. Not everyone can do desk to blackboard. Everyone's aware now we have a housing bubble. I feel we have an education bubble in this country. I mean, you could go to any major intersection or any downtown and shut your eyes and throw a tennis ball, and whoever you hit has probably got a degree. But a lot of the kids were sold a bill of goods that go get that 4-year degree and you're guaranteed $150,000. I mean, everyone knows that. No. And it's like the neon lights of Wall Street. There was the biggest economic boom the planet's ever seen in the 90s. And I think that was part of it. The parents maybe didn't want the kids to work so hard. And, when you consider a third drop out of college the first year and half can't find a job at the end of 4, if you showed me that business plan, I wouldn't get involved. I have often wondered, and I've even seen on TV, CNN, where they've never really come out with it, but there is a scoring thing with communities. How many kids they can get to go into college. Federal funds are involved. Accreditations are involved. I hate to think like that, but sometimes I think that's part of it. My son Anthony worked for me for years, although he's now gone white collar. He's building a real estate business. He was in more trouble in high school than I was. Right? Well, I think maybe we're going through a bubble. A lot of things flip back and forth in life and in nations and in economies. I'd like to turn this around. Get people so they can be placed where they should go. Parents are very careful about baseball and sports. They put the big, tall kid at first base to catch the flies from third base. The stocky, strong catcher, the guy put him at catcher. Why don't they do that with vocations and work? If Johnny couldn't sit still 12 years, how's he going to sit still 4 more in college? It's basic. That's why I think the green collar will pull people in. Have your son be a plumber, a carpenter, an electrician, an auto mechanic. You don't have to worry about being outsourced. They're not going to outsource your roof when you got to put a roof on to India. I like to call blue-collar jobs necessary jobs. They're not going to go anywhere. And with a growing population as we have 309 million people in America now. It's going to be, they estimate, 400 million by 2045. That's a lot of apartment buildings. Roads and bridges and schools and hospitals and subways. Necessary things. The effects in Katrina, I think it was September 2005, we had to bring welders in from Vietnam and Egypt to weld down in New Orleans for that poor tragedy down there, those people. I've actually heard around here they've brought welders in from overseas. The scary thing is, in fact, the article's over there, I just saw it in Wall Street the other day, it's the deindustrialization of this country has even fell into the military. Brazil, Israel, make a lot of our equipment today. If we had a war, a conventional war, I don't know if we have the ability to retool this country. That's why Rosie the Riveter is on my website. Blue collar and proud of it. That's how we made it through World War II. What were they making? A ship a day in Los Angeles out there, I remember reading. A ship a day was going overseas. That's how much the blue collar people were pumping the equipment out during that war. I mean, we're really going to take this country green finally. We've kind of had curbside recycling, and we've had the organic food thing going for 30 years. We're going to do it now. This is a renaissance. Wouldn't a parent love their child to be a part of that? The plumber puts in a low flush toilet. The electrician puts the solar panels on the roof. In September of '08, Detroit was awarded $25 billion to retrofit their assembly lines to build hybrid vehicles. You know, the blue collar person is going to take this country green collar, not academia. It's an exciting time. You know, historically, blue collar came from in the 40s in the factories. That's where the term came from, that they would wear a blue uniform because the dust wouldn't show up as much. That's where we've kind of split it. In fact, a couple of years ago, I read the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, now doesn't really want you to say blue collar, white collar. But it's very in our society, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's a way we all, you know, decipher things. When I started out 29 years ago in business, even as recently as 10 years ago, if I took my truck to the transmission place, he'd say, "We're going to go under it, we'll pull the tranny out, we'll take a look." Now I go over there and he says, "I'll run the codes, I'll call you in a half hour." It's amazing, the technology, and that's why I say I'm not against bettering your education. You do need secondary training. That's why in the back of my book, Blue Collar and Proud of It, there's 7,400 different contacts to get training, and all in North America. And you do need training. This isn't Grandpa's factory floor where you can go from senior year and go into a factory in America. You need to learn. And I think they should. A 2-year school, a trade school. There's about 1,400 community colleges in the United States, and half of them are doing just trades work. You know, I think that if that's what you're cut out for and you have the blue-collar personality, that's where you should go.